Once again, the Hurricane Creek Keeper, with the help of the South Wings, will take you up over the Gulf Coast for another look at the BP Slick. This time we're going to turn to the south and to the east to look at the beaches. At the Bon Secours Natural Wildlife Refuge, there was no sign of oil anywhere in the marshes, which was a good sign. Along the beach there were little camps set up where there were hundreds of bags we took to be contaminated sand. The cleanup effort had been ongoing for some time along Gulf shores. As we got closer to the tourist area of Gulf shores, it seemed like there was actually more oil on the beach than there was in other places. Dark red streaks, booms floating around that seemed to be doing nothing, and empty beach chairs. This flight took place on June the 23rd, just 11 days before the biggest tourist weekend on the Gulf Coast. Construction crews could be seen working along the beach, piling sand along the water's edge to protect it from the oil that was surely coming in. As we continued eastward toward the tourist district of Gulf Shores, the oil seemed to be getting a little bit thicker. People stood along the edges looking, but nobody was in the water yet. We came along the pass into Little Lagoon and found them working to put sand in front of it to act as a barrier to keep it from backwashing into the lagoon. It was evident already that this was going to be a tough fight. Along the beach in Orange Beach, things weren't much better. There were much heavier patches of crude on the beach now, and people were venturing into the water. Here we saw large plumes of oil about a mile and a half off the Perdido Key. There was more crude on the beach than we had seen before. It wasn't hard to find an empty chair in front of the motels. As we flew down the Perdido Key, we came to the pass and looked and realized that Bayou St. John was full of oil. This was going to be a long, hard battle. To keep the oil out of these bayous and estuaries is critical, but with the dispersant that's in this water, it's going to be just about impossible. Here we see Pensacola Pass. There's surface oil everywhere, but there's much heavier mats out at sea that are coming in. It seemed to us as if the current had lined it up and was directing it straight for Pensacola, and it was just sucking it up into the bay. Just before the 4th of July, Pensacola Beach received some of the heaviest of all the sheen yet on this side of the slick. It came in mats this time, not just tar balls. Not far from this location, we found people actually giving surfing lessons in the water. There were no signs anywhere on the beach to advise them of the potential risk to their health. Whether you can see the oil or not, with the dispersant, it's there. You can see the sheen on the water. And here we find a man with a young boy in a raft with oil all around him. As we got to Destin, things looked a little better. The beach was clearer. There was no sheen on the water inside the Choctawhatchee Bay. But this was only temporary. For out at sea there were plenty of large mats of oil still to come in. As far as you can see on the horizon is oil. Here we come by Panama City. and the entrance to St. Andrew Bay. Things look pretty good here too. Hopefully they'd be spared for a little while. However, there was oil not far off the coast. This thunderstorm popped up, making it impossible to get any farther than St. Joseph's Bay, but here we found beached oil boom and oil in the bay. Right off of Port St. Joe, there was oil. This would be the beginning of a series of bad weather that would keep us grounded through the week of the 4th of July, so I worked on documenting what was happening. In the middle of the night, I found crews cleaning the beaches, grooming them, getting ready for the 4th of July. On the 3rd, there was still heavy equipment on the beach, filling in the holes with sand, while tourists began to show up, where the beach is really clean. Further down, I found this ADEM official talking to locals about the condition of the West Beach at Port Morgan. He admitted there was little he could do, but he was far more courteous and more helpful than any of the others that had been on the beach that day. It seemed like where there were no real tourist attractions, the beach would be left as it was. A real health hazard.
I'm Blake Roper. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Just down here for World Series baseball tournament. Just got out of the water. And,
you went in the water today?
Yeah, well, I walked into about knee high, and as I got out, I noticed my legs were stinging, like I had something all over me.
But you couldn't see any oil in the water?
I could the foam. You could, when it would come in, the foam would hit the beach. You could see like just lines through it where you can see where the discoloration of the foam. Me, I wouldn't swim in it just because you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I just walked in it to get a better feel for it and see what it was like, and I was only in there a couple of minutes, just knee high. I wouldn't swim. I wouldn't want my mouth to get in it.